Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader. This session is all about for our audience who are currently studying at universities. What we discuss in that session is our speakers' journey of skills and knowledge development, so that students who are our audience they can understand how people from different countries are developing their skills and knowledge so that they can get a guideline and based on that they can design their own journey. So today we have invited Damjana, a passionate young leader from Montenegro, currently serving as Flex Alumni Coordinator and pursuing her studies in law. Her journey began with the prestigious Future Leaders Exchange program, an international educational and cultural exchange initiative that helped shape her leadership, civic engagement, and global perspective. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Damiana to learn her journey. Damani, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing also good. I just want to thank you for this opportunity to be a guest speaker. I think this is really wonderful to share stories, not just my story, but people from all around the world.
Great. So, if you share in brief initially about your student life, how is it going, and some of your associations that are helping you developing skills apart from your academic studies in brief, then we will continue our discussion.
So first of all, hello everyone. My name is Damjana Brajevic. I'm currently a Flex Alumni Coordinator for Montenegro, and I'm currently finishing my first year in law. I'm studying at University of Donja Gorica in Podgorica, my hometown. So I think I wasn't really first interested in law, but since I started high school, which was a law-oriented high school, I found out that there's I want to learn more about justice system and how I can help others because I think people are sampolitikom. I think they are, which means they are social humans. Like we need other people to communicate and to create our full potential. And I think law really does that. So I'm still learning. We'll see, but I think it's really going great for me.
Great. Sometimes like people, students, regret regarding their major. So, how was it for you that you didn't want to study, or as you are studying law, how you are seeing the benefit for yourself?
So I think it really creates so many different, like law really opens for also maybe international studies. Like you can really connect to international studies. You can also connect to psychology or philosophy. And I think that's really wonderful that with one major you can learn many different things. Like I have such sociology as my class, or I have economics also this semester. I think that really speaks about how law is broad, but also that every single country has its own law. And I think I think AI will never replace law uh, with from humans. So I think that's really important to um, make something out of it and just to be more into like speaking about human rights, which are still not in the whole world. Not everyone has the same rights, but like just like learning about it, even if you're not majoring in law, just learning and speaking about it, I think it's really important.
Definitely. So, your journey started. Your journey with the Flex program started as a student participant, and later evolved into becoming an alumni coordinator. So, how did that experience transform your perspective on leadership and personal growth?
So being part of Flex program taught me how to adapt, observe, and absorb. But being and becoming an alumni coordinator flipped that entirely. suddenly I was responsible for someone else's experience, not just my own. So I think that's where real leadership begins. You stop asking what do I gain from this, but you start asking yourself what can I do for others. And I was last year city representative of Podgorica, and I think knowing the other sides is really important. Knowing what did I want from my only coordinator, who was my mentor and who is still my mentor, Marco, um, and also really knowing what can I do for others. I started doing so many projects with my alumni, and not just my alumni, my community. And I think students is really important for them to find their own community where they share interests with others. And also, I collaborated with a lot of NGOs and learned that so many different people from different backgrounds have similar interests and want to make the same change.
Yeah, that's great. And also, many students, like hesitate to join international programs, or it can be leadership or exchange programs. But they're funded, partially funded, or maybe self-funded. But according to you, why you think it is important for students to explore this kind of exchange programs to broaden their global outlook or mindset?
So I think, uh, first of all, I think no one feels ready when they're entering programs, and I think a lot of students underestimate themselves in like, do I have enough in myself to join this program? But I think being in your early 20s or teens, you will never be experienced. And that's exactly what are those programs for, to gain experience, to gain real world experience. Because Flex, I don't think I would ever learn so much if I didn't join Flex. If I doubted myself so many times, but I realized that I would think more about regretting not going than going and then regretting some of my mistakes. So gaining that real world perspective and different cultures really changes your whole personality. And I think also what's really interesting, it really activates neuroplasticity. I think neuroplasticity is really on the side of youth, where you can actually become whoever you want to be with neuroplasticity and just working on it. And what activates neuroplasticity is like being uncomfortable. So stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things out of regular is really a way to becoming someone experienced, someone with so much knowledge. I'm still 19 and I still have a long way to go, and I made so many mistakes, but I think um, being part of an exchange student and being part of that community is something that I will never forget for the rest of my life.
Definitely. Also, before graduation, if students explore this kind of opportunities, they can also explore, the this kind of international opportunities for in future after their graduation. They can do explore doing masters, or maybe applying for jobs abroad. So that will actually broaden their mindset as well. So sometimes as a student, they think being associated with, say for example, extracurricular activities or apart from academic studies, any association will hamper their studies. So according to you, how do you manage time, and how have you found your passion to engage with this, apart from academic studies activities, and how you are developing your skills and knowledge by doing so?
So managing studies and other stuff is I want to quote. It's the balance is not always elegant. Law demands a particular kind of sustained focus that doesn't leave much room for other things. It needs a discipline, which is a little different from others. So what I learned, the answer that really does for me is the structure, not motivation, not inspiration, just consistent structure. Because there are always days that where we won't feel like doing anything, but just being persistent enough and knowing when I study, when I volunteer, when I rest, giving also days to, even though I should study, maybe I want to volunteer. I would go volunteering um, because I think it's really important as a young person to uh, do everything while we can, and just being part of everything and absorbing everything that is given to us while we are still pretty young.
That's true. And also, if you look back now at your high school and exchange journey, what were some of the biggest lessons you learned outside the classroom environment?
So I think what I learned the most was probably when I was living with an American host family for a year. I think not any single event or program or school gives prepares you for that. Is which was being in a household that was completely different from mine and operated differently. It forced me to communicate when I didn't have the words, to be vulnerable when I maybe wanted to appear capable, and maybe to find commonality where I expect a difference. That daily negotiation built more characters than any formal leadership training or school. And also, really, that created me to be more outgoing, more outspoken, and to say my needs. And I think sometimes school doesn't really teach you because it has program, it runs through that, it gives you format, you do this and then just finish it. It doesn't create one-on-one. So that experience really changed me. And just again, I spent every day my exchange year at this coffee shop where I become part of this coffee house family, where I met from all ages, from 19 to 90 people, and talk to them every single day. And I think that really uh, made me feel like I want to create something. I want to take a different route from my life. I want to also create others this kind of community, because it's something that never leaves you, and it really traces something behind.
That's absolutely true. This is the out. There are a lot of outcomes, but the feeling is absolutely who are involved in that, they understand it really better. Um, as someone involved in alumni engagement and youth leadership, how important is networking and community building for students today? If you share some of the examples, because in today's world, students, they do some mistakes while network. So, for example, if I get connected with you today, I'll ask, "Can you help me in that case? Can you help me in that area?" So, if you share in brief about the benefits of networking in a meaningful way, based on your experience, and why it is important for the students.
So I think a lot of people misunderstood networking as collecting context. What I think it actually means is building genuine relationship with people who share your values and vision. I think for students today, community is everything. Not because it looks good on CV, but because no meaningful work happens in isolation. The people around you really determine what becomes possible for you. I was during my exchange year. I was 5 days in Washington D.C., where I joined civic educational workshop, and I met 100 students from all different nations, and they were all hosted in different states. That 5 days really changed me. I connected with so many people that still are my friends now on, from even after 3 years. And 2 months ago, I was part of Ideal conference workshop where I reconnected with some of them. It really created a genuine, meaningful connection. I also met my best friend through exchange year. And I think networking is just connecting with other people, being with other people. And I think that really changed me because I was struggling with my projects. I didn't know how I would manage my exams, but I asked them because like they're also having the same struggles. And I think also this point is like those are people who have different situations, but somehow share different struggles. So they can help you, maybe not even help you, but you can help each other by talking and saying, I experienced that too, and feeling and finding comfort in just like relating to someone and sharing the same problems. And I think that's really something that not a single notebook or self-help book is gonna like help you.
Definitely, and you never know who is going to support you in future if you have a meaningful and good relationship and networking, even if maybe your own country or in other as well. May, like this is very important to have a very good relationship for like for life. It should be, yeah. So we have mentioned several flex. So if you for flex is known for cultural exchange and leadership development, which experience during the program helped you grow the most professionally and personally?
So as I mentioned earlier on, being just part of like living in a different household, but also different teachers and different people. I think really experiencing the whole different lifestyle and just entering new comfortable zone. Like it's something that people rarely experience because sometimes they don't feel ready. And to be honest, I never felt ready for any of this. Because I think being comfortable is another word for being ready. So, but personal growth is never comfortable. It's messy. It's like being very vulnerable, unprepared for anything. I think what really changed me when I participate in a volunteer work, where we volunteer for 1 day at this pizza ranch, where we were like doing foundation for this little boy who was fighting cancer, and we managed to raise $300 that night. And later on, his surgery was really success. And I think just like that small change for me was something really big for others. And realize that at 17 is a lot because those are formative age and years. So learning that you can make a small change or take a first step can be really big and meaningful for other people. Even it might seem small to you and just like little time, it might make so much changes. And I think that's why there are people do protests, or they when they feel not they don't feel justified, they get up and say those words what they want. So learning that, experiencing that was something totally different for me, and uh it's very wonderful experience to learn that you can make a change, and it's not a lie.
Definitely, and as a student, like it's everywhere. It is common that we have responsibilities for the communities we work on. It's not about the study. Yeah, focusing on study is important, but based on our capacity, we should extend our support. It doesn't has to be going outside. We can support from our home, sitting or through online, contributing digitally. So sometimes you really love what you do. That's what from your facial expression we understand. This is a very important thing. That passion, if you say for example you're not passionate about what are doing, then it will not result in a good way. So what happens in general, students think volunteering activities, it's a waste of time and there is nothing to learn. Also, where there is no certificate, they don't participate. So like this kind of tendency, of certificate and which are not meaningful, and then they don't feel going there and being part of it, just to for the sake of a picture or for the sake of putting it on the CV that, oh, I participated in that program, that resulted in just pure waste of time. So in your opinion, how can students genuinely use volunteering and leadership opportunities for real self development?
The difference, I believe, is always in the tension you bring before the experience, not the certificate you collect after it. I think what people should do is always ask themselves one question before doing anything is what do I want to be different about me when this is over? Usually before I join anything, I do research about it and do see if I'm interested in teams. I was really interested in NDL because they were talking about mental well-being and how it affects you and how it affects like how to uh, be how to know when you're burnout and how to make uh, work progressive even when you're burnout. And joining that and writing essays about that made me really interested in the topic. And after doing all those workshops and with my dear mentor Ksenia and Marco, I learned so much, and they taught me so much. So it's always what do I want to change about myself? Do I want to stay same? Do I want to maybe learn this and maybe later on speak to someone else about this, or just tell my friends, hey, I learned this and this, like isn't this so interesting? But it's not only that, because everywhere you go, you are going to meet someone. You're going to build a network. As we mentioned previous, networking is always building through connections, through going somewhere. So no meaningful work will bring in isolation. We have to put ourselves out there.
Definitely. So one of our audience, Srijita, mentioned informative session. Thank you for watching, and definitely we are learning as well. So confidence is a challenge for many young people. So, for example, for graduates, they have confidence, they have skills. They have skills, but due to lack of confidence, during interviews, they fail to show their skills due to the lack of confidence. They mumble, they cannot communicate clearly. So, in your opinion, these campus engagement or exchange experiences help you become more confident in communication and leadership? If it is, how?
I will be honest, not immediately. And I think it's really an honest answer giving word giving. Confidence didn't suddenly arrive because of one experience. I think it accumulated slowly through many small moments of doing something difficult and surviving it. Speaking in front of people when I was nervous, representing my country when I felt inadequate, or coordinating a program I wasn't sure if I was capable enough. what really built me, because before my exchange year, I was really shy. I'm 100% introvert. And just like speaking in front of people was the biggest fear of my life. That's when I joined speech class, where we had to give speech, maybe sometimes unprepared speech, like 5 minutes, elevator speeches and stuff like that. Turns out I really love doing that. I really love talking about my ideas to other people and knowing they listen to me. Then that's when I joined later on theater club, where I applied to for my role of Mary Alice in one act, and I realized I loved acting. I love being on the stage. We perform different schools, so confidence. You have to, one thing you have to have before having confidence is believing in yourself, knowing your worth, because sometimes we are our own worst critic, not someone else. We doubt ourselves the most. And the first step to being confident is believing in yourself, even when probably no one believes in yourself. Knowing your belief, knowing what you value is really important to that. And again, confidence is never comfortable. Be messy, be out there.
Absolutely. As in today's world, all of us, mostly involved with social medias, and there are a lot of comparison. Like even professionals, they feel this kind of inferiority, lack of confidence when they see a lot of in their surroundings. People are doing goods, and they feel like they have some inferiority, and they feel like they don't have that skills, they cannot achieve those success, people say. So this is pretty important, that you have mentioned that if we do not, say for example, love ourselves, no one will come and say, yeah, yeah, you're a good person and stuff like that. So that's how confident, self-confidence start. So this is very important, like to like believe in yourself and just go out there and doing stuff like that. Thank you so much for that. And as we are almost at the end of our session, um, like students, yeah, they watch suggestions, they watch advice, they go to seminars. Next day, they are puzzled, like how to start, where should I start, how should I start, like um, that kind of puzzle, and then they're like, oh, okay, I'll see it later, and then they forget. So according to you, like what message would you like to give students who feel they are not experienced enough, they're for leadership roles, exchange programs, or global opportunities, or even start their volunteering activities? So how can they start, if you share your advice?
I'm still learning, but I believe experience is not the entry requirement for opportunity. It is the outcome of it. You don't become experienced by waiting until you're experienced. You apply, you show up unprepared, you learn faster than you would have otherwise. And 6 months later, maybe, you have the experience you thought you needed in the first place. The programs, the exchange, the leadership roles, they exist precisely for people who don't have the experience yet. That is entire point of them. I'm still young, I'm still unexperienced. I still have so much to learn. But having desire to change ourselves and having desires to make something out of our life is important. The desire is the answer. Knowing you want to do this, not because someone forced you, but because truly deep down, you want to change yourself. And later on, you will see that just that those small steps made you experience enough. Even because sometimes in textbooks, experience is totally different from the experience you need. Just going out there, speaking about yourself, telling other people your story. Maybe you might think, oh, why would other people hear my story? But that's the exact volume, because others don't know you. They don't know anything about you. So doing that, speaking your own voice and doing stuff will make you feel prepared in the future.
Definitely. Also, effort and being active is and being enthusiastic is very important for the students, because there is no freelance. No one will come and say, "Hey, drink it. It is full of new skill and new knowledge." So the effort, going forward, lean forward is important, to learn and put some effort, and definitely the outcome is beyond expectation. And not only the local market, also beyond your own country, own border, you should explore different programs, different experiences, because before graduations you have to develop yourselves in a different way. So thank you again, Damjana, for your incredible and informative session. It's very crispy and simple from your experiences that you have shared. Yeah, our audience, they will understand it very in a simplest way. And on behalf of School of Entrepreneurship Development, we wish you very best of luck in your future on the roads, and for contributing your experiences and lessons with our audience.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm really glad I got to speak to you and to share my story, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, and we wish you very best of luck.
Thank you.